What's going on, everybody? You're listening to a new episode of the Postgame Report podcast. So, the PlayStation 5 Pro is out in the wild. I have one. I didn't get the vaunted 30th anniversary edition. Actually, I didn't pick up anything that had the 30th anniversary tag on it. I could have gotten the DualSense controller, and I actually clicked on it, but the website, the PlayStation Direct, it was going apeshit, so I lost out on that. You can't even find it anywhere else. But I have the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I received it on launch night. And I say nighttime because around 6 p.m., that's when my freaking PlayStation 5 Pro showed up. And I had the option of actually purchasing one in the morning at my local GameStop. There were consoles available at GameStop and Target. I could have gone into any one of those stores and pick one up in the morning after physical therapy. My wife talked me out of it. She said, "You have a busy morning anyway. You're not going to be able to use it, even if you were to pick one up. So wait till the afternoon, and the console will most likely be delivered as I'm out and about, and she's home waiting for it." That didn't happen. So I had to sit around watching everyone make videos about their PlayStation 5 Pro. So, yeah, I kind of felt left out at the moment, but I knew eventually I would get one on that day. And so I did. And what I did beforehand was transfer all of my stuff to my extra SSD that was installed. I have a 1 gigabyte. And I put all the games in there. I put all my settings. I did a backup. Actually, I didn't do a backup on that one. I just installed all of my games. I did do a backup on a portable hard drive, an SSD, that is a lot slower than the SSD inside of the PlayStation 5 or the extended SSD that you would purchase for the PlayStation 5. We're talking about 1,500 megabytes per second in read-write as compared to about 7,000 or 6,500, whichever. So I did that. That was about an hour in total to do everything. But my stubborn ass, I was doing the installation. You know, I was transferring everything from that hard drive to the PlayStation 5 console. And then I decided to cancel and just download, move everything, all the games that I had installed on the second hard drive that I have. I don't know why I did it. Some of you might remember I have a brain injury, so a lot of the times I do things that I don't really remember doing. And so that delayed the freaking process. Anyway, as everyone else who purchased one of these Pro consoles, I started testing out all the games. All the games that had the upgrade, the Pro upgrade, such as The Last of Us Remaster 1 and 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn, the remaster, the Spider-Man games, so on and so on. There's quite a few, actually. And then I even tried out PlayStation 4 games, other PlayStation 5 games that don't have a Pro patch, such as Helldivers 2. Now, Helldivers 2, I've been playing the shit out of that game. I have way over 600 hours. I have the Platinum, is one of the few Platinums that I actually have. And I was really hoping that I can play in quality mode, because there's a quality and a performance mode. On the base PlayStation 5, I play on performance. And so I tried quality mode, and it's better. It performed better on the Pro as far as frames per second and less a less jittery screen. But things looked a little weird because stuff started looking too sharp. And so there's an option to turn off sharpness on the game itself. So I did that. It looked a little smoother. But I went back to performance mode. And I'm hoping that there's a pro patch for that, for Helldivers 2. But nonetheless, one thing I did notice on performance mode with the PlayStation 5 Pro is that Helldivers runs really freaking smooth on performance mode. I mean, really smooth. The picture is smooth. I guess the key word is smooth. It's hard to describe. I was trying to describe it to a friend of mine, Matthew, and we play, all 600 plus hours is mostly playing a co-op with my friend Matthew. So I'm trying to describe what I'm looking at on the Pro, and I was like, I'm wasting this guy's time because I can't describe it, and I still can't. It's one of those situations, especially when you have a situation where, let's say, you jump from an iPhone 10 to an iPhone 10s. Apple used to do it all the time. They would release a phone, and then there would be an S version. Like, for example, I had the iPhone 3S or some crap like that. It's supposed to give you a mid-gen boost in hardware and performance. I also had the PlayStation 4 Pro, and that it didn't. There wasn't the leap that you see now with this PlayStation 5 Pro. There really isn't. Back then with the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, as a matter of fact. So when this PlayStation 5, this PS5 Pro was announced, I said to myself, well, I'm not going to fall for what happened with the Pro, with the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now I was able to sell my original PlayStation 4 and get the Pro for about $100-something. It wasn't, I didn't pay full price like I did with the PS5 Pro. I kept my PS5. Maybe my son will want it. If not, then maybe I'll sell it. So when I saw the demonstration by Mark Cerny and what exactly the PS5 was going to do that the base PlayStation 5 can't, or any other console in the market, I said, okay, this I might pick up. And then I saw the demonstrations that from other content creators who were able to preview the console way before the reviews were out. And they verified all of the stuff that Mark Cerny said. And I'm talking about CNET, stuff like that. And that's when I was sold. And I'm glad I made the jump. Now, it is $700. It is not a cheap console. It is not for everyone. And to be honest and frank, you're not going to see all of your video games be enhanced by the PS5 Pro. You will not. I just said Helldivers 2, and I can, I have over 600 hours playing it, so me seeing the difference between the base PS5 and the Pro is justifiable because I play that game so freaking much. But let's say you put in MLB The Show 24. I tried it on the base PS5 PS5 and I played it recently on the Pro, I didn't notice a difference. So you're going to get situations like that. Not every game is going to be not every game, let me rephrase it, is going to magically perform better. But there are more games that will perform better that don't have a patch. So it's one of those trial and error type of things. I do have Space Marine, the newest one that came out, Warhammer, and I believe it's Warhammer. I call it Space Marine. So I tried that, and I was hoping that on quality mode it would run smoothly. Now, it's not bad at all. But when you play a game that has a 60 frames per second option, you go with that. And once you go with that, it's hard to go back to 30 frames because you will notice it. And that's what happened with Space Marines 2. I noticed it. I played one game in quality mode, and it's a freaking nice looking game. But the performance, it's not, for me, it's not something in 30 frames per second I want to play. I prefer the 60 or above. And then I mentioned my brain injury. I do have issues where my eyes have these micro movements. So that's where I have issues reading text without my prism glasses and all this stuff. So I don't know if I notice the jitteriness a lot more than most people. Because certain things, let's say patterns, I see certain patterns like stripes going across somebody's shirt, forget it. I'm getting dizzy. It could be even my fucking shirt. If I look down and I'm not prepared for it, I get dizzy. So there could be a difference with what I see and what most people see. Just throwing that out there. Now, the big question for a lot of people is the $700 price tag worth? Well, it's been a long freaking day, so let me rephrase this again. Is the PS5 Pro worth $700? Is the performance justifiable? Yes, absolutely. Because it is one thing to see on Twitter someone post a video and say, man, this looks great. But it's a totally different experience when you see it live. I saw a lot of videos of people with their PS5 Pro before I got mine, posting videos on YouTube, posting videos on X or Twitter. And when I put the same game to see it for myself, it was night and day. So if there's a Best Buy or a Target that has a PS5 Pro and they have a kiosk where you can see the difference yourself, it's going to be one of those situations where you're just going to have to find people you trust. And I'm talking about content creators and reviewers. Or maybe you have some friends who own it. You're going to have to take their word for it. And I'm telling you, this is the most powerful console. Before it was the Series X on paper. But in real life situations, the base PlayStation 5 was outperforming the Series X. Now we have this PS5 Pro that is doing things that you can only find on PC for less of a price. Now, there are people who are going to say you can build a PC for $700 and do the same shit. Show me. Do the demonstration before you go into my comment section and telling me this. I want to see you do that. I want to see you build a $700 gaming PC that is equivalent to the PlayStation 5 Pro and that it can play the games in the same settings in performance, frames per second. Do that first, and then tell me that it can be done. Because there are a lot of content creators saying this, and we all know why they say it. We know why someone is going to say this PS5 Pro is garbage. It's not worth the price. Xbox is equivalent. I've seen all that shit. And that's to be expected when you see those type of comments or you see that type of headline in a video or on a tweet. You know why they're doing it. They want attention. They want engagement. They don't believe the crap that they are saying. But they don't mind looking like freaking morons for the sake of getting engagement or a few dollars on their YouTube channel. I'm not going to tell you to take my word for it, but I have video gameplay. Hopefully it comes off nice. Some of the games I try to switch between performance and quality. Some games call it something different. Maybe you can see with the compression on YouTube, you can see the difference. But I'm telling you, if you're going to ask me, and I know most of you here aren't asking me, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion. It is the most powerful video game console that has ever been built. It is the most advanced. It is a console that can show you what it's capable of doing immediately. There isn't a slight performance boost like with the PlayStation 4 Pro, where The Last of Us could be played at 60 frames per second instead of 30, and that was the highlight. The PS5 Pro is... I'm not saying that it's turning games into, like, for example, Horizon Forbidden West. It is a beautiful game on the PlayStation 5. But with the advancements, with the boost from the PS5 Pro, there's another level of graphical fidelity. It's hard, once again, it's hard to explain. I'm going to use that word again, smooth. It's just something you have to see. It really is. And hopefully some of it comes out on these videos. But I tell you what, yeah, $700 is a steep price for a video game console. It is. But let's not forget, there is a $600 Xbox, an Xbox Series X, that the only upgrade it comes with is an extra terabyte of storage. And they're charging you an extra $100 for that. For an extra $200, the PS5 Pro gives you a huge advantage when it comes to performance. So, the one thing I will say, if you're going to listen to me, is believe me and believe everyone else who tells you this console, the PS5 Pro, is the most advanced, the most powerful console that has ever been made. And it shows when you play the video games on it. It shows. So take that for what it's worth. Now, I hope you guys enjoy the videos and the podcast. I'll talk to you guys later.